Ancient technologies. Stone masonry depictions in Egypt. And of course, later on, I'll get into other locations, other ancient sites of their stone masonry depictions, which I know there's a lack. I noticed there's a lack of, but we're just going to use Egypt as an example because it's the most popular location when it comes to stone masonry. So this is a depiction, what's left of it, of a big statue, big Ramsey statue, right, on a sled being pulled to dudes, and one dude right here pouring water or some type of liquid in front of it to make it easier to slide, travel. People assume it's water. That is one possibility. Another possibility is olive oil, so that way slippity slide. So it slides better, especially if it's sliding on wood planks or stone slabs. Like you set up a whole bunch of stone slabs top of a sand surface, so you can kind of create a road of stone, and then you can move the stuff around much easier, especially if it's a smooth polished stone, and then you throw a little bit of olive oil on it. It makes it really easy for the sled to slip and slide on that. That's what I would do if I was in ancient Egypt, to make things easier, because I may work smarter, not harder type person. So I would figure out how to make things easier, not harder. Because smarter, not harder, right? So there's something that shows stone, but it doesn't show them making the thing out of stone. So here will be another image. So here's some depictions of stone masonry that I found. Stuff of that shows people working on things that look like stone. Over here looks like a stone quarry. You see how it looks like blocks of stone being carried over the shoulder and stuff like that. Of course, these are small size. These are not 70-ton blocks, but you get the idea. So it looks like they're collecting stone to make stuff. Here's depictions of them making a statue. Here's like that Ramsey statue I was talking about. And then what looks like these wooden pieces here, right? Scaffolding. So it makes, so that way they can reach and be able to work from top to bottom. Statues, right? Same goes over here. Over here, you see it looks like an artist is painting, using like a ruler or something, right, to sketch out. They're going to carve out, and you got a couple carvers here carving. So this person probably carving. This person's carving. This person's probably polishing. So this person, that's more like what they're doing is polishing, while the other ones are actually doing the carving. So there's depiction there, and then there's the scaffolding, right, so they can reach up, kind of like a ladder system. Here they're making vase. Here it looks like they're more likely polishing it, right, to make it nice and smooth, and they got it spinning on the stick that's through this thing that's holding the sticks. That way you just spin this around and polish it and spin it, polish it, spin it. So here we got something that applies to your drilling, right? So this looks like a drill, because here's the weight, here's the handle, right here, and then you should be able to drill in there. So I don't know how legit a lot of these images are. This is what I found on Google. Some of those could just be modern day, images, paintings, not ancient depictions, but pretty sure this one over here, right, this is ancient Egypt walls, right? This pretty good because it looks like stone carving, so it's like cool. So here they got what appears like little wooden mallets. Here it looks like a wooden handle with a chisel on it. Show you some of the tools that it's depicting. Show the woodworking stuff. So what it's in their hand looks like this stuff here, like this. See how there's wooden handle and metal chisel there. So something similar to that. You see over here, you got the piece of copper and then wood. You got rocks, you got metal mallets. So it's supposed to be a hammer, right? It's a hammer, but you're not trying to break what you're hammering. This is depictions of woodworking. There's a lot of woodworking. Over here might look like they're making stuff out of stone, right? They're polishing stone. Over here, that's what it looks like. Here it looks like they could be making a stone statue. Let me zoom in some more. So all this is made of wood. This could be wood that they're working, especially with the coloration of it being brown. So maybe golden color could be wood. Here looks like definitely cutting through wood with a saw. Here some type of chisel. Here's a depiction of like a bow drill, but you see it's on a chair, so wood. Here see a saw. They're cutting it. This pillar that they taped, not taped, but they tied with a rope, whatever they're trying to cut here, which might be wood, of course, something else. Because you know some of the stuff is like they colored it black, so it could indicate that it's a different material. So black could represent stone, like that's their idea of like, oh, stone. Anything in black is stone. Anything that's not in black, anything that's in a brownish or golden color is wood. So a lot of this golden color stuff here could be also, right? That could be the whole point. They're trying to tell us that a lot of that stuff is wood and a lot of that stuff is stone. Then you come over here, like I said, you see some more stuff that they're working with that has black colors on it, but then there's the brown color stuff. So there's a lot of possible woodworking tools. Especially you see this hammer right here. Oops. So you see this hammer. This is kind of like it works like a chisel, but you swing it a little bit like a hammer. It kind of chisels. And then over here, types of stuff. But you see how thin a lot of this metal is, which is not great for woodworking. I mean, for metal stone working. So obviously, to me, it's like, yeah, this is definitely for woodworking. All these thin pieces of metal is for working on wood, because it will work. You don't need thick, heavy, pieces of metal for woodworking, especially delicate woodworking, but you definitely would need it for heavy-duty stonework. That's why I was surprised that this statue is probably wooden, right? Or this statue can be, stone. But of course, they would need a thicker piece of metal to chisel. So there's some depictions that I was able to find of stone working, but not a lot. Definitely no stone other for this one, and I'm not even sure that this is real image from ancient Egypt. I just found it on Google and said, oh, this does show something that kind of makes it look like drilling, but everything else is mostly just rocks in people's hands. It could be used for sanding, polishing. Could say, oh, for pounding, like, yeah, that's another thing you could do with a rock, right? But not much here. Definitely not a lot of drilling. Where's the tube drills, right? I mean, the closest we have is this. This kind of looks like it would be used for a tube drill, but we don't actually see tube drills. Even though we see a lot of holes are created by something that's clearly a tube-like shape, but we don't find depictions of it, which is strange since it's used a lot in stone masonry in Egypt. A lot of this stuff made in Egypt out of stone definitely shows signs of tube drilling, but we don't have no depictions. We don't have no pictures or carvings of that drilling, which is concerning because it's like that's a very important detail that they decided not to depict. Okay, show a couple more images. I don't want to take too long with this video. So here was the initial image from the video I made previously before pointing out that this doesn't depict drilling into granite. This depicts drilling into wood And then here's what they would have been drilling into and making. So this is a museum. This is made of wood, but right, they covered it with some type of gold foiling, or they created like their own gold paint or something. Largely, this is made of wood. See some of the evidence of that right here. The paint coming off the wood, so this is essentially kind of like more of a golden paint job done on wood. Here's wooden and non-painted, non-good condition version of something of that sort. And this is supposed to be a bed, and that's what they're working on, like a bed. And then here's a chest that goes under the bed, and it's supposed to have stuff in there. I guess like blankets, linen, or personal items, whatever, right? And all of this would be made of wood. Here we got back to the tool section. Zoom out. Tool section. So yeah, that's the woodworking stuff. Oh yeah, one last thing, which is the stone masonry section. There we go. So this is where a lot of people go to when it's like, oh, we have proof that they use these little chisels and stuff like that, these little tools that we found to create, the blocks and create the Great Pyramid and stuff like that. They try to go to this type of image right here, but this is not an actual image that's on any wall in Egypt. This was a drawing somebody made for a book. A lot of people like to use this image as like, hey, look, this is what they did. See, here's proof that they knew how to cut big blocks of stone and move them around and build pyramids. It's like, this is not actual proof of that. This is a illustration of the idea, yeah, but of them possibly, doing this, but this is not actual proof. This is not original proof. This is just somebody's idea of that, right? An illustration to illustrate their idea of them using those tools to cut granite and make the pyramids, but this is not actual proof of that, of them actually making pyramids. So just like these images over here is not actual proof of them, drilling and creating stone bases out of stone with, a rock and wood type of drill thing. Not saying that they couldn't have done this type of stuff, just saying that this is not official. These images are modern day drawings, not actual ancient carvings or paintings on walls or papyrus. These are modern day drawings done in probably like Photoshop or something, some type of MS Paint, or drawn by hand. Because this definitely looks like it was done by was hand drawn by like some marker. So, right. So just something to keep in mind. But I noticed that there'll be some videos where I'll see and they'll be like talking like, oh yeah, this and that, here's proof and blah, and then they show like this image or an image similar to this, and it's like, that's not proof. It's just a drawing that somebody did clearly in modern day times with a marker, because ancient Egyptians don't use part 1 in English, part 2 in English, and 1, 2, 3, and 6. These are English. They will use hieroglyphs. There's no hieroglyphs in this. See, the one up here has some hieroglyphs. So this could be what they call it, not reanimation, but a reenactment, recreation of something somebody actually saw on a wall, temple somewhere. But this, part 1, part 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, like, this was just somebody's idea and they just drew it. And I doubt ancient humans worked naked. But you get the idea. And that'll be the end of the video.